So one of my favorite bands growing up was Kiss. And I remember having the album Kiss Alive too. And I'd open up the cover and there was a picture of them at the Forum. And there was all this fire and pyrotechnic stuff going off. And they're up high on this platform. And I thought, man, what a cool cover. And they were like superheroes to me. And I remember one of my favorite Christmases as a kid was around 1980. And my parents bought me a Toys R Us drum set. I got a Kiss guitar with like plastic strings on it. And I got the Kiss album Dynasty. And I thought, man, what a cool Christmas. And I remember watching TV, and I see Kiss on TV, and Paul Stanley's got his guitar, and he's got it up really high, and he smashes it on the ground. And I'm thinking, that looks fun. So I run outside, I get my Kiss guitar, and I'm pretending like I'm playing in front of thousands of people. I pick up my guitar, and I smash it to bits, and I'm thinking, that was the dumbest thing I've ever done, because now I don't have my Kiss guitar anymore. So with that in mind, I like to go over some of my favorite Kiss riffs. One of them is the first one I was playing, which is Shock Me. So to play this song, you play a D chord to an A chord, back to a D, then open E to the second fret on the E string, back to the E, open E. Now he does something pretty cool here. He does a bend on the second fret, but he leaves the A and the D string open. Then he does this really cool Rolling Stones part where he plays a D triad over an A bass note, to a G triad, back to the D triad again, then back to the bend. So what a cool riff. I love that riff. Another one I love is a song called Parasite. Man, that's like up there with the Jimmy Page riff. It's so cool and it's heavy. So let me show you how to play that one. You play an open E to a first fret to a second fret on the E string. So open, first, and then 2 on the second fret, which is F sharp. Now, another one of my favorite riffs is Firehouse, and that goes like this. So I love that riff, and it's fairly easy to play, and it still has that Rolling Stones kind of thing. So you're going to play on the 5th fret on the E string, to the 3rd fret, open, to the 3rd, open. So. And just like Shock Me, he does that. Where you have the G triad over the bass note, over an A bass note, then a D triad over an A bass note, back and forth, then an A chord. So let me show you 3 of my Ace Frehley licks. This one is a classic one. You guys will know it the minute you hear it. And it's not like he invented it, but when I hear this lick, I always think of Ace Frehley, and it goes like this. So let me teach you that one. So you're going to be on the 7th fret on the G string. You're going to do a bend. So you're really bending up from a D to an E. Right? Then we're going to hold down the B and the E string on the 5th fret. So we have, which is like the big Chuck Berry lick. And then we're going to do a pull-off on the B string from the 8th fret to the 5th fret. So all together it sounds like this. And when you play it fast, you kind of just do all downstroke. So now another lick he plays is in the song Shock Me, and it goes like this. And that's out of the pentatonic scale. You have this, but he adds the B. So let me break that down for you. You're going to play on the 8th fret on the high E string, and it goes 8, 7, 5, and then you're going to do 8th fret on the B. And you're going to do a pull-off. Those are all pull-offs. And the same thing on the B string. You go 8th fret to the 7th fret to the 5th fret, and then to the 7th fret on the G string. And the last one I want to show you is a double stop lick that he plays quite often. And it goes like this. And that one's really easy. You're just going to play 2 notes on the 7th fret, the G and the B together. Then you're going to play 2 notes on the 5th fret, the G and the B together. Then you're going to play on the 7th fret on the D string. So all together it sounds like this. And you can do a little bend on the 5th fret. So the thing about playing licks like that is it's not about perfection, right? It's about feel. It's not about playing them perfect. In fact, the sloppier, kind of the better. One thing I want to talk about that I was thinking about the other day, it's like What we've lost kind of in this AI generation is the ability to have a feel. So when I hear them play together, I hear this collective feel. You know, like think about the Rolling Stones. If you were to solo each member of the Rolling Stones, like play their parts solo, you'd probably think, oh, it doesn't sound that great. But when you put it together, it sounds like the Rolling Stones. The same thing with Kiss. I think Ace playing with Peter playing with Paul and Gene, like it gets this sound. And I think that's kind of a lost thing in this world now with Suno and all this AI stuff and Pro Tools where you can actually put things to the grid. We've lost feel. And I kind of miss that. I miss when you hear a band, you'd hear the way they'd sound together. Like take The Who. When you hear them play, it's like you have Keith Moon playing spazzy drums, and you have John Entwistle, he's like the lead guitar player, and you have Pete Townsend playing the rhythm, and then Roger Daltrey. It's like together it made this gigantic sound. And I really hope at some point we get back to that. We get away from our computers. Computers are awesome, and I use them all the time. But I think I do miss it, like let's get into a garage and let's just play together. Now I want to talk about when I actually got to meet Kiss. So around 2009, I went to the Udo Fest playing with Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Riders. And so we were in the backstage area and we're all hanging out and getting food. And then I see Paul. So I go over to Paul and I shake his hand and he's super nice. I go over to Gene, I talk to him and he's really funny and he was super cool. And I'm like, I got to meet my childhood heroes and they were really cool guys. So another thing I got to do was see them live. And as a kid, I never saw them. So this was kind of like a dream come true to go see Kiss up close like that. So I remember going backstage and seeing Gene Simmons' gear and I could see Paul Stanley stuff. And I was like, wow, how cool is this, you know? I got to hear him play those songs that I grew up listening to. And man, the pyrotechnics, I remember being in the backstage and those things went off and it was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. So I don't know how those guys were doing it every night. But anyways, it was an amazing experience. And I thought I'd just end this video by just playing a little Ace tribute. You know, he was such a huge influence on my guitar playing. It's funny, when I think about my guitar playing now, I realize how much he really did influence me with the bluesy way he played and the feel he had. So I'm just going to play a little guitar in tribute to Ace.